The hush of the crowd at Arlington was broken by a sharp laugh. A teenager, cocky in posture and careless in tone, pointed at an old man kneeling before the tomb of the unknown soldier. The veteran's back was bent, his hands trembling as he placed a small, weathered medal on the stone. The boy smirked, whispering to his friends, "What's the point? He's just some washed-up old guy." His words cut through the reverent silence like a blade, and several heads turned in quiet disapproval. But the veteran didn't rise. He kept his eyes fixed on the marble, lips moving in a silent prayer only he could hear. "Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you rewatching from. I love knowing who's listening." The boy's mocking grew louder, his voice echoing against the solemn stillness. "Look at him shaking. Probably doesn't even remember who he's here for." His friends chuckled, their sneakers scuffing against the pavement, careless in a place where silence itself was sacred. The old man, named William, felt the sting of humiliation burn against his frail chest. He wondered if respect had died with the men he buried, if the world had forgotten what sacrifice meant. The air grew heavy. A ripple of unease passed through the gathering. The clicking steps of the tomb guard echoed closer, sharp and precise, every movement honed with discipline. The soldier's immaculate uniform caught the sunlight, his rifle gleaming as he marched. Each strike of his heel resonated like thunder against the marble. The boy laughed again, until the guard stopped. His turn was sharper, his voice a sudden command that split the air. The crowd went still. "Silence!" the guard thundered, his eyes locked on the teenager. Then, in a voice even colder, steadier, he spoke a name that made William's breath catch. "Private First Class William Grant, United States Army, Silver Star, wounded in combat. You will show respect." The boy froze, his smugness draining in an instant. Gasps rose from the crowd. The veteran's name, the name he thought history had buried, was spoken aloud with the weight of honor. William's eyes brimmed with tears. His trembling wasn't weakness. It was memory. He could still hear the mortar fire, feel the sand biting at his skin, recall the faces of the brothers he carried from fire when his own body screamed to collapse. He remembered the day he lost more than blood. He lost friends, youth, pieces of himself he never got back. The guard's voice rang out again, steady as stone. "This man has given more than you could ever imagine. Do not mistake age for irrelevance." The boy's laughter had turned to silence. His friends shuffled, ashamed. One by one, heads bowed. A woman in the crowd pressed her hand to her heart. A man whispered, "God bless him." And then, as if carried by an unseen tide, a wave of applause rose, gentle at first, then powerful. The sound swelled against the marble walls, reverberating like a hymn. William, frail and humbled, tried to rise, but his knees faltered. Before he could stumble, two strangers stepped forward, steadying him. The guard lowered his weapon with slow reverence, offering the old soldier a nod of respect that needed no words. In that moment, the teenager's smirk was gone. His cheeks flushed red as he whispered, almost to himself, "I didn't know." But the truth hung heavy in the air. He hadn't wanted to know, until he had no choice. And as William stood supported by strangers, embraced by respect he thought was lost, the crowd understood the lesson. The measure of a man isn't erased by time, because honor doesn't fade. It waits, and it finds its way back. The boy's laughter that once shattered the silence was gone, replaced by the thunder of applause and the quiet strength of a name spoken with reverence. If this story touched you, Share your thoughts in the comments, and make sure to subscribe. Together, we'll keep alive the stories that should never be forgotten.